All right, let's get started on the back of the bottom here. So let's come on to the spine and take a second. The knees into the chest. Give your ankles a couple of circles and slowly rock yourself side to side. Taking some deep breaths in and out. And allowing the body to be heavy, lowering it down quite a bit. And then bring yourself to center here. Take the hands to the backs of the thighs, so not the front of the shins, but the back of the thighs. Pull them in close to the chest. Elongate the spine. Press the back of the neck down into the ground. Elbow count to the ground. Eyes as close to the chest as they will go, or close to the torso as they will go. Just holding and breathing. Enjoying a bit of stillness, maybe for the first time today. And then with your inhale, let's stretch the whole body long, bending your legs and your arms in opposite directions. Make sure you have enough room up overhead, not quite like me. And then when you are ready, take a bend into the knees and have the feet about hip distance apart, and then switch your position from side to side. So bring yourself to center and let's cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh, and let's keep the right toes flexed here. So you're welcome to keep the left foot connected to the ground, or if you want to, you can lift the left leg above the ground, bring the left thigh a little closer to the chest, like so. We want it to be sustainable, and normally I would be able to do this, but I'm very sore. So I'm going to keep my left foot connected to the ground. And you can always take the right hand to the right knee or thigh and push the leg away from the face. You can always bring that left heel a little closer in towards the groin as well. I'm just going to hold in stillness for a little bit. Close the eyes. Make sure the tailbone's connected to the ground. And just for the duration of us being here, focusing in on the breath and how the posture feels, how those two things interrelate with each other. What's the difference of feeling on the inhale versus the exhale? Noticing any subtle shifts that occur while we're here. And then take another 5 deep rounds of breath. for you to take some open mouth exhales. And last round of breath here. So as you exhale, if your left foot is off the ground, slowly lower the left foot back down to the middle. And you're gonna keep this figure four with the legs, so just keep the same shape of the legs. And then you're gonna just let the leg lower over to the left side here. So your right sole of your foot should be now connected to the ground. And you should still have a bend into the left knee. There's a couple options for binding. If you want to take them, you can take your left hand to your right ankle, maybe bring it in a little closer towards the hip crease. You can also take this right hand to your left foot. Again, I'm really sore today, so maybe pushing it for me. You can do either one of these binds or both of them or none of them if you really don't want to. If your right hand is free, take your right hand and extend it over to the right side of the mat and take your gaze over towards the right hand and then close your eyes. Breathe into any sensation here. Chances are there's some significant sensation on the outside edge of the right hip, so just breathing into it. And allowing more softness to come, especially on the exhale. Being still enough to notice any change, any tiny change, even if it seems really, really small. Still notice it, still give it attention. So just holding one more minute here. And last couple deep rounds of breath. Don't leave in the house. Let's unravel out of the twist. Come across the leg. Keep that full body stretch again. So hands and feet in the opposite direction. As you exhale, we go into the knees. And keep the arms wide like cactus, the arms. Ventricular questions inside. Now we keep both shoulders connected to the ground. And we're going to practice center, bring both soles of the feet back down into the mat. Hands to the belly. Breathing into the belly, expanding the belly on the inhale. As you exhale, just allowing the belly to fall. Two more. one more. Yeah, so let's begin our figure four on the left side. Whew, a bit tighter for me. Left ankle on top of the right side. Anything. You can press that left knee away. You can also grab a hold of the right leg. Just not fitting for me today. Make sure that the hips are evenly connected to the ground. Tailbone connected to the ground. And same thing, you can allow yourself to rest there or create as much tension as you'd like. Remember to keep these left toes flexed. This protects the left knee. And elongate the spine. So especially if you're having a hold of the right leg, make sure that the shoulder blades are back and towards the spine and you're not rounding the spine too much. The spine should be relatively completely connected to the ground. Kind of get your low back and back of the neck. You just close your eyes, settling into a bit of stillness. Nice slow, steady breath to keep your attention. And noticing if the mind wanders away from the breath. Okay, if it does, even just a simple awareness of, oh, I'm not focused on my breath anymore is being mindful. Take about 5 more deep rounds of breath. And some open mouth exhales are always welcome. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so if the right foot has come up off the ground, we'll return the right foot down to the mat. And we keep this figure four position with the legs, and then again, just drop the legs over to the right side. Your left sole of your feet should be connected to the ground. And you can take either one of those binds. Again, you can take the right hand to the ankle, or more along the shin. And you can also take this left hand to the right foot as well if it reaches, but for me, it's seemingly not possible. The left hand is free, extend the left hand out. And then take your gaze over to the left hand as you close the eyes. See if you can pinpoint in your mind with your eyes closed exactly where in the body you're feeling this. And getting as detailed as even describing its shape, even if it's maybe an abstract shape, not quite square or rectangle, but just identifying what it would look like in terms of where the tension is. Breathing into the center of that tension and maybe even visualizing its shape changing a bit with the rhythm of the breath. So we have just one more minute here. Just drawing your attention back to that visualization if you can. And our last 3 rounds of breath. Last one. Yes. Your inhale, and slowly come into the back of the palm. You can uncross the legs, and then extend. Full body stretch again. Really reaching. Even pushing the hips upwards towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bend into the knees. We'll interlace the hands behind the head, kind of where the skull meets the neck. So not really behind the head, but more on the neck than anything else. Elbows spread wide. Try to keep the shoulders connected to the ground as you begin to windshield wiper the shins all the way down to the ground on either side. Now this may be a little bit difficult for all of these things to happen, the knee connecting to the ground and your shoulders connected to the ground. But do the best that you can. It's not about making the connection in terms of that's what defines success here. As long as you can get a significant stretch here, you're doing another couple deep rounds of breath as you shift from side to side. Bring it back to center. And bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. Now you're welcome to keep this bind of the hands kind of behind the head and neck. If that's too intense for you, you can release the hands. And I'll encourage a diamond shape with the arms. So a little bit of bend to the elbows, maybe just the pointed fingers touch tips. But even if that's too intense, you could just extend the arms out to the side here. Maybe can't just the arms or full extension. Kind of draw the heels a little further away from the groin so you have diamond shape with the legs. And if you have a diamond shape with the arms, call it a double diamond. Now, if this is very uncomfortable, maybe even painful for the low back here to have the hips be externally open in this fashion, and always take your hands kind of underneath your glutes here and kind of the outer edges of the hips. Even maybe some fists just to support the legs from going out too wide. Or you can always place some blocks underneath them if you have them available or your knees bent. But let's just hold in some stillness here, maybe about 1 more minute. Allowing the whole front side of the body to be full, very open. Closing the eyes. consciously breathing. Let's take about 3 more rounds of breath here. Two. The last one. Okay, so let's slowly roll all the way over to one side of the body. And then nice and slow, let's push ourselves up into a tabletop position. So as soon as you're in tabletop position, I want you to take some big hip circles right away. So you can bring the hands wide, hips to rotate forward, backward, side to side. And even incorporate some neck movement there as well. Head is heavy, or purposely moving it. Start to move. Bring it back to center, back to tabletop. Bring the knees wide, bring the big toes to touch. Move the hips down toward the heels. And then nice and slow, walk the hands forward. So you bring the knees as wide as they'll go for the moment. As you make your way down and forward here, really take your time to kind of notice the release, all the sensation in the legs and the hips as you make your way down. Sometimes we kind of just rush into child's pose. Really take your time and walking with purpose. See how long you can make that journey. And then lastly, once you've arrived, allowing the head to rest down to the ground, or if you want to, you can your forearms or your hands or combination of the both and rest the forehead on top of that. Allow the body to be as heavy as possible here. Really not resisting, even if it seems uncomfortable. Try to just trust that uncomfortability and give into it as much as you can. And then breathing into the back of the body. Focus, mindful breath. And holding for just about 1 more minute. Start to gently deepen the breath. Take 2 more. And so let's keep the head heavy, very slowly walk the hands back in towards underneath the shoulders. We're going to keep the hips heavy towards the heel. We're going to walk the hands in a little closer. Bring the knees a little closer together. And then bring the hands back behind you and the fingertips. And then lift the hips as high as you can off the ground. Shoulder blades back. One more round of breath. Do exhale. Slowly lower the hips down. And we'll bring the legs up to the side here. Bring the legs out in front of us. We'll take a butterfly position with the leg. And just take some big torso circles here. So rotating over the legs, over the knees. Bring it up and down. And just creating as much movement as you can there. And of course, reversing direction. Just noticing the range of motion that does exist there, giving some appreciation for it, even if it may seemingly be limited. And just another couple rounds of breath. Bring it back to center here, elongate the spine. And rest the hands wherever they feel comfortable, but a restful position. Make sure that the shoulders are stacked over the hip. The head is gently reaching up towards the ceiling. And closing the eyes, reconnecting back to the breath if you've strayed away from that connection. Let's bring our palms together, bring our thumbs into the heart, re-elongate the spine. And we'll take one more breath there. Taking a deep, full breath in through the nose. And open that back down. Good. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through this practice. I'll see you all next week. A lovely, lovely week. Thank you for joining.